Okay, so in this lesson, Unit 5, Lesson 1, our math goal is dividing whole numbers by a one-digit divisor. Please write that down and write down anything you know about division. Okay, so let's take a look at our first problem. So it says a plane travels the same distance every day. It travels 3,822 miles in a week. How far does a plane travel every day? How many ways can we solve this problem? So we're going to look at this. We're going to solve this problem three different ways and see if you remember these three different ways from fourth grade. So let's take a look at the first one. Oh, first of all, how do we know it's division? Stop the video, see if you can figure out why it's division, then come back to me. Well, hopefully you said we have a total. It travels 3,822 miles in a week. So we have a total. We have miles. How far does the plane travel every day? So we're looking for every day. So it's being split up, right, into each day. So that's why we know it's division. Okay, now let's take a look at it using the place value sections method. So it's 3,822 divided by 7 because there's 7 days in a week. So in the place value section, they have us make a box, and notice it kind of looks like a division box. If I were to trace this part, it kind of looks like the division box, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 3,822, which is my dividend, and then my divisor on the outside, which is 7. It's divided by 7. Okay. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, 7, and I'm going to ignore the 22 for right now because I'm just going to see how many times 7 can go into 38 because 7 doesn't go into 3, right? So I'm looking at the 38 right here. So 7 goes into 38 how many times? So 7 times what is close to 38 without going over? 7 times 5, right, is 35. So 7 times 5 is my 35. And then I still have two numbers here, the two twos that I didn't touch. So those have to be zeros. So I'm going to put 2 zeros there, and I'm going to put my 2 zeros there. So 7 times 500 is 3,500. And then I subtract, and that gives me 322. Okay, because 7 times 500 is 3,500. And that gives me 322. Now I'm going to build another section. Okay, so I went ahead and build another section. That gave me 322 was left over, right? So that goes in my new section. So my 322 goes in the new section. And then the same thing, I'm going to say 7 times what is going to give me close to 32 without going over. Well, 7 times 4 is 28. So it's got to be 40. So I'm only going to the 32. So that means I need to add another 0 for that 2 right there. So it's going to be 40 because 40 times 7 is 280. I'm going to subtract my 322 from my 280. 2 take away 0 is 2. 2 take away 8 I can't do. I got to borrow. That makes it a 2. That makes it a 12. 12 take away 8 is 4. That gives me my 42. Now that I'm done with that, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to build another section, right? So let me do that. Okay, so I build another section. I put my 42 because that's what's left over. 7 times what is 42? 7 times 6 is 42 and leaves me with 0. So then I am done. So now I have this in expanded form. So it's 500 plus 40 plus 6 gives me 546. So that's using the place value sections, okay? Now let's take a look at it using the expanded notation method. So it's similar to the place value sections, except that we're building up. So same thing. I'm going to decide in this form, it's written the traditional way, how you're used to seeing the division symbol like that. So same thing. 7 doesn't go into 3, but it goes into 38. 5 times 7 times 5 is 35. And then I still have my 22 here. So that means those have to be zeros because 7 times 5 is 3,500. Same thing, subtract 322. Now, instead of making another section, I'm going to continue this way. So let me show you. Okay, so I'm going to continue. I had my 322 here after I subtracted. And again, 7 goes into 32 how many times? 4 times. And there's a 2 there, so I mean it must be 40. 40 times 7 is 280. I subtract, but now, see how I didn't put another section? I just put the 40 on top. So expanded notation, just expanding it up. So now I'm going to do the same thing with my 42. 7 goes into 42 how many times? Okay, 7 goes into 42 6 times. 7 times 6 is 42. Put my 6 up here. And then the same thing. I just bring down my digits of 5, and the 4 goes in the tens, and the 6 goes in the ones. So it gives me 546. Notice I got the same answer, just a different way of doing it. That's the expanded notation method. Now we're going to look at it digit by digit. Okay, and this is the way I grew up doing it, digit by digit. So the same thing. I'm going to build my division, my little division here. So again, 7, I'm going to look at the 38 because 7 doesn't go into 3, but does it go into 38? Yes. How many times? 7 times 5 is 35. 8 take away 5 is 3. 7 go into 3? No. Then I bring down the 2, and it gives me 32. And then I'm going to continue. So now I have my 32. 7 goes into 32 how many times? 7 times 4 is 28. That gives me closer because 7 times 5 is 35. That's too much. It's my 28. I subtract. 12 take away 8. I can't do. I borrowed. That makes it a 2. That makes it a 12. 12 take away 8 is 12 take away 8 is 4. And then I got to bring down my last 2. That gives me my 42. And then 7 goes into 42 how many times? 6 times. And we said 7 goes into 42 how many times? 6 times. 7 times 6 is 42. 42 take away 42 is 0. So my answer is 546. So 3 different ways of doing it, right? You can do it the digit by digit. You can do it the expanded notation method, or you can also do it the place value section. So either way, and hopefully these are all review from 4th grade. If you really prefer one method over the other, by all means, use whatever method you prefer. I don't care if you use the place value sections, the expanded notation, or the digit by digit. It doesn't matter to me. So now let's try some. Okay, so try one. Use any method. If you think you can do this by yourself, go ahead and pause the video and do it by yourself. If you need help, then stay with me and I will walk you through it. Okay, I went ahead and wrote it, so go ahead and write it down and then come back to me if you need my help. Okay, so I'm going to start with the 6. 6 goes into 5. 6 does not go into 5, right? So then I'm going to say, does 6 go into 53? 6 times what? It gives me close to 53. Well, let's see. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 9 is 54. So that's too much. It's got to be 8. I mean, yeah, 6 times 8 is 48. So minus 48. I'm going to do it digit by digit here. And then 3 subtract 8. Can't do. Got to borrow. That becomes a 4. 13 take away 8 is 5. And if this is smaller, then you know you did it right because it can't go in. And, if this would have been like a 7, then it would go in one more time. But since this is 5, you did it right. This always has to be less than what your divisor is. Okay. So 5. And then I'm going to bring down my 8. 6 goes into 58 how many times? So let's see. 6 times 8 was 48. 6 times 9 was 54. So it's got to be 9. It goes right above that because that's the last place I divided into. Minus my 54. 8 take away 4 is 4. 5 take away 5 is 0. Then I'm not done because see, I do have a 0 here. So I got to bring that down. That makes it 40. 6 goes into 40 how many times? 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36 minus 36. 10, 0 take away 6 I can't do. Got to borrow. That makes it a 10. 10 take away 6 is 4. But I have nothing else here, so I'm done. So it's 896, remainder 4. Okay. I'm going to do it the place value sections method also. So it's in case you did it that way so you can check it. But you still should have gotten 896 remainder 4, irregardless of which way you did it. Okay, so I did my first box. I did my 5,380 divided by 6. 6 times what is going to be close to 53. 6 times 8 is 48, right? And then I have 2 more numbers, so I need to add 2 zeros, so that gives me my 800. Then I subtracted 0. 8, take away 0 is 8, 13, 3 take away 8 I can't do, I borrowed, 13 take away 8 is 580. So now in my next box, right, I'm going to put my 580, goes in my next box. 6 times what gives me close to 58? So we said 9, right? Because 6 times 9 is 54. So I'm going to put my 9 up here. And I have another number there, so I'm going to add a 0 for that number because 60 times 9 is going to give me my 540. I'm going to subtract that, and that gives me 0. 8 take away 4 is 4. It gives me my 40. So my next section is going to be my 40. And then 6 times what gives me 40? 6 times 6 is 36. So I'll put my 6 there. 36. And then 40 take away 36 is 4, but I can't continue because I'm out of numbers. I don't have another number. And I'm left with a 4. 4 is smaller than 6, so that means I'm done. So 890 remainder 4. And if you would have done it the place value sections, right? Not the place value sections. If you would have done the expanded notations, right, then you would have at the top, it would have been 800. Oops, because I'm not writing. It would have been 800 and then 90 and then 6 at the top. And that gives you your 896 if you would have done it the expanded notation, okay? All right, let's look at another one. Okay, so try this one by yourself. Use any method you want. So 6,747 divided by 7. I will do it all 3 ways, so that way you can see your answer to make sure you got it right. So use any method to stop the video and do this one and then come back to me. Okay, so I did it digit by digit. 7 doesn't go into 6, but I did 67. So 7 goes into 67 9 times. 9 times 7 is 63. 7 take away 3 is 4. 6 take away 6 is 0. Bring down is 4 less than 7. Yes. So bring down my 4. 7 goes into 44 6 times. 7 times 6 is 42. Subtract. 4 take away 2 is 2. 4 take away 4 is 0. Is 2 less than 7? Yes. So I can bring down my 7. 7 goes into 27 3 times. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 take away 1 is 6. Is 6 less than 7? Yep, I'm done. So my remainder is 6. Then I did it, the expanded, did the place value sections. So I wrote my 6,747 in the first box. 7 goes into 6,747. So I did the 67 again. 69 times 7 is 63. I have 2 numbers still, so it would be 900. So 7 times 900 is 6,300, leaves me with 447. That goes in the next section. 447. 7 goes into 44 6 times, and I still have another number, so that makes it 60. So 60 times 7 is 420. Subtract gives me 27. Put my 27 in my other section, and 27, 7 goes into 27 3 times. 27 take away 21 is 6. So again, 900 plus 60 plus 3 gives me 963, remainder 6. So I got the same thing. If you did it the other way, it just would have been like this, but it would have been with a 900 at the first, right? 900, then 60, then 3 at the top, and then you would have had 6 left over. So either way, digit by digit, expanded notation, and place value sections, you still would get the same answer. And this one you would also have 6 left over with the remainder of 3. And this would have been the 963. The 9, the 6, and the 3 would all line up. Okay. All right. Okay, try this one. 3,183 divided by 4. And again, use any method that you want. And then come back to me, and then I will show you the solution. Okay, so this one, I did the place value sections. And I also did the expanded notation. This time I didn't do it digit by digit, but you still should have gotten the same answer either way. You should have gotten 795 remainder 3. So I did 4. Does 4 go into 3? No. So I looked at 31. 4 goes into 31 7 times, gives me 2,800. So it went, and I have 2 zeros because I still have 2 numbers. So 4 times 700 is 2,800. Subtract 3, take away 0 is 3. 8, take away 0 is 8. I have 1. I can't take away 8. I borrowed. That made it a 2. 11, take away 8 is 3. Gave me 383. So 4 into 383. So I just looked at the 38. 4 goes into 38 9 times. 4 times 9 is 36. And I still have another digit. So it'd be 90. 4 times 90 is 360. Subtract 3, take away 0 is 3. 8, take away 6 is 2. 23. 4 goes into 23 5 times. 4 times 5 is 20. 3 left over. So 700 plus 90 plus 5 gives me my 795, remainder 3. Same way here. So you can look at it yourself here. I did it the same way. And then I still would have gotten the same thing. And the digit by digit, if you did a digit by digit, you should still get 795, remainder 3. All right. So I know I did a lot of methods today in this lesson, but they should all be review. Okay. So if you have any questions, please ask me, and then we'll do some more in class. Okay. So what you learned, proof of learning by doing a 4-digit number divided by a 1-digit number. Okay.